So I have an important question for you. Are you gaslighting yourself? We know that when you are in a relationship with a narcissist, a manipulator, an abuser, a liar, a cheater, or any other destructive person who is gaslighting you, that it is not okay. The definition of gaslighting is when somebody does or says something to get you to question whether what you did, what you saw, what you felt, what you perceived was wrong. And it is for the purpose or the intent of getting the gaslighter, getting you to believe that the gaslighter was right and you were wrong. So something interesting happens though. When you have been in a dysfunctional home or dysfunctional relationship after a while, you begin to do something very odd. You gaslight yourself. And the reason that that happens is because when the gaslighter is gaslighting you, you begin after a while to question yourself. Exactly what the gaslighter wants you to do is to question yourself and to conclude that you're wrong, that what you felt, what you did, what you saw, what you perceived, what you believed, that that was incorrect. After a while, you buy into that. And then you begin to do the very same thing to yourself. So you can answer these questions to find out if you're gaslighting yourself. Do you doubt what you feel? Do you doubt what you see? Do you doubt what you think? Do you doubt what you perceive? Do you doubt what you hear? Do you doubt what you believe? Do you doubt what you remember? Do you doubt what you need? Do you doubt what you like or what you should like or what you should want? So if you answered yes to any of those, you are gaslighting yourself. You are questioning if all of those things are true or not. Now, this does not mean that you cannot say to yourself, like, am I considering what the other person is saying, or am I considering an alternative explanation for this? Am I healthily questioning myself and making sure that what I said was okay given the situation? It's far beyond that. That's a healthy balance because if you are someone who never questions yourself, you're a narcissist, you're an abuser, you're somebody who is above having to have any self introspection or self evaluation or to give the other person's opinions, experiences, feelings, beliefs, needs any weight at all. So it is a balance. But if you go to the other extreme and you doubt everything that you feel and need and see and perceive and hear and want, if you do all of that, then regularly you are gaslighting yourself. And that is just as unhealthy as the abuser or the narcissist who is always right and never self questions. So if you've answered yes to those questions and you know that you're gaslighting yourself, what can you do? Well, you've got to start out recognizing first. We cannot change anything that we do not recognize. So recognizing, oh my gosh, I'm gaslighting myself. I hate it when other people do that to me. It just absolutely infuriates me. And I just want to do everything I can to call them out. But oh, I'm doing that to myself. I want to stop that. You have control over you. You don't have control over the other person. So you can stop gaslighting yourself. So the first thing is you recognize it. The second thing is you have to affirm yourself. What does that mean? That means you are going to say out loud or read, or maybe you're going to put it on your phone, you're going to put it on the corner of your mirror, you're going to put it on the console of your car, just something that you see regularly, or you're going to have a little script that you're going to read maybe once every hour at the beginning, or multiple times a day, or you're going to start your day out reading it, and you're affirming it, saying it into the mirror is fantastic because you see yourself saying it, you hear yourself saying it, and you're saying it. So you go through that feeling in your body. So you're going to state anti-gaslighting affirmations. And this is how it goes. It's very simple. I see what I see. I believe what I believe. I felt what I felt. I feel what I am feeling. I perceived what I perceived. I saw what I saw. I need what I need. I like what I like. I don't like what I don't like. I did what I did. I said what I said. I, um, let's see, I heard what I heard. Any of those things. You can go on and on with those. And basically, what you're saying out loud is, okay, I believe myself. Now, validation is simply this. When something is valid, it means it is true. It is correct. So if you were to go down to the registrar, county registrar where you live, and you were to say, I need a valid birth certificate for myself or my child, yourself, if you were born in that county, you got to get it from the county that you were born in. So let's say you were born there and you went to go get one. You would ask for a valid birth certificate. It would be the paper, and it would literally have either a seal or a stamp on it, showed that it was an original and it came from the county. You can trust it. That is what you are doing when you are affirming yourself. That is what you are doing when you are validating yourself. Affirming is just another way of saying validating. So, or to validate. So you're going to basically affirm or validate that, yeah, I felt what I felt. Now, when does this come up? Well, here's some examples. You're talking to the difficult person in your life, the dysfunctional, toxic person, call them whatever, or her, whatever you want, whatever. Or if you know that they're struggling, if they're lying or whatever, you're just going to say, okay, let's say you're having an argument with that person, and that person is saying something to you and getting you to doubt yourself. They said a lie. Okay. They said something that at first you're like, that's not true. And all of a sudden you say to yourself, is it? Is it true? Wait a minute. Was I wrong to doubt that person? Oh, maybe I shouldn't doubt that person. Oh, maybe this time this person's telling me the truth. What you're going to do when you affirm is you're going to say, okay, I feel like it's lying. It felt like a lie to me. I believe it's a lie. And like I said, doesn't mean you never question yourself, but you do not have to invalidate yourself by going, oh, maybe it's true. Maybe this time it is true. Maybe this time I should believe this person. No, I don't trust this person. I don't trust. And instead of saying, should I trust? Maybe I should trust. You say, I don't trust you. And the person can say, well, you're wrong. You should trust me. I don't trust you. That is affirming or validating your feeling. Or I didn't like being yelled at. Oh, I didn't yell at you. I didn't yell at you. I didn't really raise my voice. I felt yelled at. I don't like being yelled at. That is basically what it is. Now, do you have to justify? Remember the acronym, don't jade, don't justify, don't argue, don't defend, don't explain. We're talking about you and what you feel and need and believe and perceived and experienced and heard, how it affects you. That's it. This is not having to make a case, prove this in a court of law. This is you in a relationship or you experiencing something and you validating yourself instead of gaslighting yourself to say, I saw that. I felt that. It didn't feel good. It felt harsh to me. Oh, but I wasn't harsh. I didn't say anything harsh. I didn't do anything harsh. It felt harsh to me. Therefore, it felt harsh to you. Now, remember the you versus I statements? I made this mistake last week where I said you were being harsh to someone instead of I felt like it was harsh. That drew out more defensiveness. So I made a mistake. I didn't own it as myself. But years ago, many, many years ago, I would have gone through this whole thing of saying, oh, well, maybe I overreacted. Maybe I interpreted it. I don't have to do that now. I know what I like and what I don't like. I know what I feel and what I don't feel. And I can stick with that. And I don't have to gaslight myself. Now, you know what's really cool benefit of this is that when I'm not gaslighting myself, It is much harder for people to gaslight me. Does that mean that they never say anything that is gaslighting, or that doesn't try to get me to doubt myself, or doesn't disagree with what I'm feeling or saying? Oh my gosh, no, it happens a lot, as it does for most of you. But I don't buy into it like I used to. I don't do that ruthless, like rigorous, like turn myself inside and out and question over and over again. I just know that I trust myself. Now, occasionally I'm wrong. Okay, like I said, that's that amount of self introspection. And my dog is deciding after just a few minutes that he wants to go out the door, which was not the plan. So what you need to do is you're going to continue to work on affirming yourself instead of gaslighting yourself. That's much simpler than trying to change the person who's gaslighting you, because that will not work and you will just get into an argument. So here are some verses. If you want to think about James 1, James 1, 5 through 8 talks about a man who goes to God and asks for wisdom. And yes, we need wisdom in understanding ourselves and understanding other people, but that when you go to God, that you go kind of not believing, and that you go back and forth, and you're like a wave tossed on the sand and the shore, and then it pulls back and goes there, pulls back. I always think of a rag doll in those waves, and it's just so limp and so light that it gets thrown on the beach, and then it gets pulled back and thrown on the beach and pulled back. I don't want to be like that. And when we're gaslighting ourselves, that's how we are. We're literally just throwing ourselves all over and not believing anything about ourselves. The next one is 2 Timothy 1:7, New King James Version, one of my very favorite verses for this. It says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and a sound mind." A sound mind does not question itself. A sound mind does not go, "Oh my gosh, am I right? Am I wrong? Did I think that? Should I think that? Should I feel that? Is that wrong? Maybe I shouldn't feel that." That's not a sound mind. That's an unsound mind. And that affects us in so many ways. And then the last one, and I love this because they were kind of gaslighting Jesus. And Jesus spoke back strongly to them. And this is the New Living Translation. It's John 8:12 through 14. It says, "Jesus spoke to the people once more and said, 'I am the light of the world.'" He knew who he was. "If you follow me, you won't have to walk in darkness, because you will have the light that leads to life." The Pharisees replied, "Huh, you're making these claims about yourself? Such testimony is not valid." In other words, you can't testify about yourself. Jesus told them, "These claims are valid even though I make them about myself, because I know where I came from and where I am going, but you don't know this about me." Now, I am not equating any of us to Jesus or to God. I am just showing you that principle. Another person cannot know about you, cannot tell you what is going on with you, but you can tell you what is going on with you. You can affirm what is it that you're feeling, thinking, believing, experienced, saw, what you meant. Somebody, that's another thing they gaslight us about. They gaslight us and tell us that we didn't mean that, or we meant something else. No, you know what you meant when you said something. I know what I meant when I said something. Somebody else cannot testify that about you or about me. We can only testify, each of us, about ourselves, what we meant and what we intended and what we believe and what we were thinking and what we were feeling and how something felt when it was done to us or said to us. No one else can have that testimony about us. And that's what's so crazy about the gaslighter, because the gaslighter is saying, "I am going to tell you how you felt and how you thought and what you were doing and what you were saying and how you were affected." And we're saying no, but let's not do that to ourselves. Let's affirm what we know. Let's stand by ourselves and validate what is going on with us. That will give us so much more stability, so much more stability in your relationship and me in mine. I can tell you it can happen, because I really gaslit myself. When I was about 6 years into my marriage, I had a sponsor, in a 12-step program. And I'm telling you, this is absolute truth. She said to me, Carla, if you were told that your hair was black, you would go to the mirror to find out if it was. Now, I've always been blonde, but she was right. That is how much I gaslit myself, and I do not do that anymore. There is hope. So one of the things that you can do that could help you, this book is my Change My Relationship. It's 365 daily devotions for Christians in difficult relationships. It has a wonderful index at the back, whatever it is that you're dealing with. This is one way to become wise and to validate yourself in your thoughts and know truth and stand in your truth. So I would highly suggest that you get this and begin reading it daily and go to it when you're questioning yourself and you're gaslighting yourself or somebody else gaslights you. Go to the back of the book and look it up and just make it your affirmation, and you will begin to be able to stand in your truth much, much more, just like I have learned to do. So God bless you. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks.